Hi family, Dr. Hooten here at Hooten Family Healing Center in Dallas, Texas. Everybody's chiropractor. Trying a new little format here. We want to make our videos as easy to follow, easy to understand as possible. And if you've been around me and around our team at all, you know we have so much information in our head. We just want to blurb it all out, and it's like drinking from a fire hydrant. So I've made it succinct today. If you have any questions after this video, please reach out to us. You're not going to over email us or over text us, especially when it comes to questions on how to get healthy. And that's where I want to start. When we're talking about weight loss, and today I'm going to cover the basics of weight loss. If you are already fit, if you're an elite athlete, the rules are going to be different for you. I'm talking to the people that know they need to lose weight, right? Now, what does a chiropractor, somebody like me, know about actually getting healthy? Well, here's the mistake our entire country makes. You know people like this probably, unfortunately, in your own family, where they wait till there's a disease process, right, before they do anything about it. Whether they're hurting, maybe a test has shown up something, and then they go to where? To the doctor, and you wind up taking medication. This approach where we are waiting and looking at the result and then trying to treat the result instead of doing anything about what got us there. This approach where we're treating the results and trying to treat a symptom and trying to treat a disease has led to the United States being by far the most heavily medicated country on the planet. People that take medicine are by default sick. We have the sickest country based on the amount of drugs, medications, over the counter or otherwise, that we take in this country. Prescription drugs, the second place is way below us. In fact, depending on any of the research you read, you're looking at up to 80% of the world's drugs are consumed right here in the good old US of A. And sometimes I get the argument that some of these third world countries just don't have access to health care, but their disease prevalence is much lower than ours. We lead the world in cancer, we lead the world in heart disease. You get the picture. And I don't want to depress you. I'm pointing that out because our specialty is in over here, getting your body to actually function. And if you talk to enough medical doctors and naturopaths and even a lot of chiropractors, they tend to live over here trying to treat a symptom. So let's just take weight loss, for example, one of the biggest, right? I mean, everybody knows this is a problem in this country, probably somewhere in your family. You get big enough, what's a very common thing people do? If you know of a couple of things people have done, like crazy diets, maybe a fad diet, the latest diet, the keto diet or whatever, and then, or extreme weight loss surgery, right? If you just think of that logically, that is somebody looking at their result and trying to treat the symptom of their behavior instead of really changing their behavior. So if you've done something already, if you've had a weight loss surgery, or if you've done a diet, or if you're in the middle of the diet, listen, I'm not condemning you. What I'm telling you is that you have to go back and look at what got you there in the first place. So this little chart I put up here, this represents the way that I like to lay it out, how people get the results that they get. If you look at your body and the tools that we know we need to employ to get healthy, right? Everybody knows about that one. We're going to talk about that. Exercise. Then the sneaky ones are your mindset, right? How many of you know stress is an issue, right? And anybody out there tend to eat more when they're stressed because there's hormones involved. Then you got your spine, which is where I come in, and then a real sneaky one is toxins. So I'm not going to go into depth on all 5 of them today. I just want you to see that by the time that we've got disease in our body, whether it's obesity, cancer, heart disease, or any other, by the time we're taking medication, by the time that we're in that state of despair, you have gone through time and adaptation of our behavior. And sadly, in our children, some of this can go back to the mom. The mom's behavior can help dictate how the kid starts. Now, if you know you've really messed up, don't live in despair. Know that you can change it. Miss K is one of my favorite stories around here. If you've been around here at all, you've seen her. You know, she came hobbling in her early 70s, cancer all over the place, and probably a good 80, 90 pounds overweight. She was supposed to die several years ago. Today, she's doing great. She's 79, has lost a total of about 75 pounds. and you never did any chemo or anything, but she followed the basics. That's what I'm going to talk about today. What are the basic rules that everybody needs to know about to get them started on this weight loss journey? And then obviously we have plenty of tools here in the office. Like again, you can reach out to us. So number one, avoid carbs. I think everybody knows that. I mean, we know sugar's bad, right? The thing about carbs is that it raises a certain hormone called insulin. And anytime you do that, it triggers a chain of events that results in fat storage. And it's such a strong response that it becomes very hard. The longer you do that, the more that you do that, it starts to become very hard for your body to let go of the fat that it's storing. And I could take you through a 2-hour workshop on the mechanisms behind that and the different hormones involved. Just know that carbs, even fruit, are going to make it very hard for your body to lose weight because of these different hormones. Now, I've been challenged on this by people who like to eat fruit and they like to make sweet treats out of healthy fruit. The problem isn't the fruit. The problem is what you've been doing up until today. All right, if you're anything like my family, we grew up eating, every little Debbie snack that came along, every Hostess thing that came along. And we put ourselves in this position where even eating a lot of fruit would keep that insulin high and it would make it really hard to lose weight. So I had to spend a lot of time taking all that junk out of my body before I could eat fruit without it having this huge insulin effect in my blood, this huge spike in glucose, if you will. So avoiding carbs. Now, if you're in the neighborhood where you've got to lose 30, 40, 50 pounds, I'm not going to say this is easy. This is going to be difficult. Your body's craving it. You may even go through sugar withdrawal, which is very similar to, if you understand the physiology of the brain, it's very similar to coming off of cocaine. I mean, it hurts. If that's the case and you're absolutely miserable and you just have to do something, so you don't eat somebody or bite somebody's head off, then grab a handful of berries and try and make it through the day. All right, but if you don't do this, if you don't lower your body's dependency on carbs, in other words, right now, most of you are going to be sugar burners, we call it. If you don't change that physiology of your body, it's just going to be very hard to lose weight. You can do things in a short term, like you could not eat, right, for a couple of days, and you're probably going to lose a few pounds. But it's going to take time to break your body's addiction to this carbs. Now, there's a test if you want to go a little deeper. It's a hormone test called leptin. Most of you that have had trouble losing weight, or if you notice you get on a diet and you lose that weight and it comes back, there's this hormone called leptin that's involved. And that takes time to lower it. You want to get that below 20. I've tested people. I've sent them to labs to get their leptin tested, and it was well over 100. And that person, I mean, it is very hard to lose weight. It's going to take time to lower that hormone. You don't have to go test it, but if you just wanted to get some clarification, that is an option for you. I will just tell you, we stopped testing a lot of people because everybody was high. And in order to get that low, where your body will start converting from a sugar burner into a fat burner, it's going to take time and major commitment to lowering the carb intake. We're going to talk about protein in a second, but I want to get up here to your mind. So how do some people pull it off? Right, I lost, a couple of years ago, I lost 20 pounds, seemingly like 6 weeks, because I saw a picture of me from behind, and I saw a little fat roll back here on my side, and I was like, oh my God, where did that come from? And my wife started laughing at me, and I wasn't laughing at all. I got serious real quick. And, I cut out almost all of those, and I started limiting my protein. But going back to the mindset, I made a decision. Something motivated me. It's all about motivation. If anybody's seen that Cars movie, Cars 3, my daughter and I watch this regularly. There's a lot of good lessons in that. And there's a line in there where it is all about motivation. And some of you say, well, motivation is very temporary. And as Zig Ziglar used to say all the time, so is bathing. But I recommend you bathe regularly. We recommend you soak yourself in motivation regularly. So make sure you're inputting good visual images, that you're looking at good things. You're not, healthy photos, if you will, or whatever it is you need to motivate yourself. I just have to look at a picture of my fat roll and I get motivated really quick. So whatever that is for you, stay motivated. And then this stuff becomes easy. A big time motivation is like, I want to be around for my daughter. I want to watch her get married. I want to watch my grandkids grow up. I want to be able to adjust people here until I'm 100. So get your mind right. Avoid the carbs. Now this one is, I know some of you are going to have some pushback on this, but if you're in a sugar burning state where you're having trouble letting go of fat, your body is going to convert protein into sugar through a process in your liver. This is a big mistake I see people making. They turn into huge carnivores. Now, if you're, listen, again, if you're a workout fanatic and you don't have a whole lot of extra weight to lose, nothing wrong with good, clean protein. I like meat. But I notice that the less that I eat of that, the less insulin, the less glucose effect it has on my blood, the less weight that I store. Okay? So what are you left with? A whole lot of greens. In fact, I'll just go ahead and make this statement. The closer you become to a green vegetarian, the easier it is going to be to lose weight. Notice I said green vegetarian. You know, potatoes don't count. That's just a straight up carb. That converts into sugar the minute it hits your tongue. But increase your green veggies, your reds, your yellows, and that kind of thing. And that's the basics of the food. Now, where does the spine come in? If your nerves aren't getting to the organs of your metabolism and getting to your hormones and regulating all this, it's going to be very hard for your brain to sort out how to process fats, sugars, and anything. You know, your brain is actually in charge of your pancreas releasing insulin. Your brain is in charge of how your fat is burnt. There's hormones talk to your brain talks back down to your body. And there's a system of 84 hormones that goes to work for you to regulate and stimulate your metabolism. Even down to your colon, how you get rid of poop. I want to get rid of poop. Anybody want to get rid of poop? You got to get your brain and your spine working through your body, and that's where I come in. And over the years, I've seen, like Miss K, you know, she loses 80 pounds, and, you know, one of the first things that happened, she just got adjusted a lot. Her body started getting more efficient. It started burning off excess fat. She started burning off the cancer. She started doing that. I didn't treat cancer or anything. I didn't cure anything. All I did was get her brain and her body working, and that her body took care of itself. You know, God doesn't really give up on anybody. He doesn't give you a body that's supposed to be overweight or obese or get cancer or anything. You're supposed to be healthy. That's where I come in, is to make sure the nerves are getting to your body. It's like the power source, right? You can, if you take my brain out, you can feed me all the veggies you want, I'm still dead. Your brain is the power source. So you don't want to neglect that. If you're already under care in their office, make sure that you are wobbling every day. You're doing your stuff at home. You want to keep your spine flowing. That's my favorite term around here. You want to keep your brain flowing through your bodies. Because Miss K, you know, there wasn't really any correction we could do on her spine. Her bones have all changed and there was arthritis in there, but we could at least move them and get that pressure off so her nerves started flowing to her body, and the results speak for themselves. If you do that, your body won't have a choice but to get stronger and healthier, more efficient everywhere. So that's the basics of weight loss. You want to make sure and own this, right? If you have any questions about that, if you just want to debate us on it, shoot me over an email. Remember, this is for those of you that know you need to lose weight. This is not a fit person's diet. My wife couldn't do this. She has to have a lot of protein, right? But she still eats very few carbs. She does eat some fruit, some healthy fruit. We both do. But she eats a lot of protein. I have to keep my protein limited or I start ballooning up. And then we both eat a lot of greens and everything. So when you do that, you start taking care of all this, and over time and adaptation, you start getting health, energy, and vitality, and that's what we want for all of you. We love you guys. Reach out to us on social media. Call us up at the office. Email us. You know how to find us. Dr. Eden signing off. Talk to you next time.